Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Tuesdays with Dr. T. Okay, you guys are okay now. So, I'm sorry if I have been MIA, but I was actually not MIA. I have done some interviews that I'm gonna link in the description that I have done in the last 2 weeks of September, and then I have moved home. I have come to my own home, which has been a hectic place. Anyway, so today what we are gonna do is I'm gonna talk about the 5 stages of the autism diet, as in the diet that Dr. T has kinda created, concocted, made up so that she could heal her child's gut, and which has led on to the Autism Success Academy and all of our programs. Okay, so as an introduction, what do I mean by the autism diet? So there are lots of diets running around in the universe, as if now there's CFGF, there is grain-free, there's gluten-free, there is paleo, there is keto, there's so many things going on, right? So when I started working with my son, I used Ayurveda. Okay, I used the knowledge and the wisdom of Ayurveda, and I also as I am a scientist myself, so I also had to implement modern medicine, or the best part of modern medicine, the best part of research scientifically done on gut and everything in between. So when I was creating the whole diet, it was not specifically just a specific way of things. Okay, it was the best of both Eastern philosophy and wisdom, and Western philosophy and wisdom. Okay, so it's actually the best of both worlds, and I did not have any other way of saying the diet that I was preaching or using, so that's why I named it hashtag the autism diet. So if you use the hashtag the autism diet inside Instagram or in the internet in general, you will actually find a lot of my posts and things like that, which will help you to understand a lot more. Okay, all right, so today's episode is about the 5 stages of the autism diet. So what do I mean by the stages? I am a big lover of 5 things, because I have seen 3 is a little too less for me, and 6, 7, 8, 9 is too much for me. And if you are anybody who is a mother, who is also working, who is taking care of several kids and maybe pets and in-laws and parents, you get it. You are tired. You don't have that much of idea of what's going on, right? You don't have the mental capacity to work any more than what you are already doing. So in my quest of simplifying things and amplifying the results, I have always gravitated towards 5. Plus, as a Muslim, we have to do 5. We have our 5 pillars in Islam. We have the 5 daily prayers. So yeah, I'm gravitated towards the 5. Okay, so what are the 5 stages of the autism diet? First of all, the diet itself is our second pillar. Okay, so the 5 pillars that I always talk about are mindset, diet, detox, lifestyle, need-based parenting. Okay, so of the 5 pillars, today we are going to talk about the diet pillar, and the diet pillar itself is of 5 stages. So stages mean you are in this beginners, then intermediate, then advanced, then more advanced, even more advanced, like that, if that makes sense. Okay, so the first stage that I work on and we start on, no matter what pillars or what process that we're doing, is always coming back to mindset. So there can be nothing in the world which is successful which does not talk about some form of mindset, some form of working on your mindset, because your mindset dictates your child's success. Your attitude creates your child's altitude. Your ideology of certain things creates whether you are ready to do the work or not. So if a mother is super scared about changing diet, or she is clueless, or she is burnt out from trying so many different type of diets, and then she's thinking that diet is not for her, or diet doesn't work, or it's all a gimmick and things like that. That is why we have to start with the right mindset. Because here's the thing, I can promise you, I can guarantee you, if you really do the work, you will see success, inshallah. Wallahi, you will see success. Why? Because why won't you? If you use the right strategies that have been tested and tweaked and customized and have shown results time after time after time, then why won't you get the results, right? So yeah, we start always with mindset, which is stage 1. So let's say you are a mother with a moderate to severe picky eater, okay? You come to me and then you join the program. So here's how we are going to work on you, as if you were our student, okay? So the stage 1 is me teaching you modalities, teaching you systems, teaching you thoughts and backgrounds on how your energetic vibration affects your child, how your emotions affects your child's emotions, how your negative belief, how your limiting belief, how whatever you believe is possible for you or your child 100% affects how much work you're going to do. And the result depends on how much work you have done, okay? So your mindset determines the quality and quantity of work that you're going to do, or the solutions that you're going to find. And then the solutions themselves, along with that mindset piece, when you are doing consistently, then you're going to see the result. Does that make sense? Please let me know in the comments if it makes sense, or if it didn't, then I will make another follow-up video for that, okay? So the second stage is probably where everybody is right now, which is the gluten-free or GFCF phase. So I would say nowadays, when I first started working, I rarely saw anybody talking about food, and I was always laughed at, like, you know, why is she talking about food? Food doesn't matter. Even the doctors that we went to, they will keep on saying, like, just keep your child alive. He doesn't need to eat healthy food. Like, what kind of doctors say things like your child don't need nutrition, your child don't need enough food? I don't know. It beats me all the time. So gluten-free is the basics, the basic foundational diet that you can do, and most parents whose kids are on the spectrum, they do some form of CFGF, okay? So CFGF is, for example, you are choosing gluten-free flour instead of wheat. You are choosing gluten-free food, gluten-free meals and things like that, instead of instead of glutens, okay, which is wheat based, or wheat, barley, and rye, I think spelt, and also spelt. These are some of the grains that have gluten in it, okay, that have gluten in it, okay. So this phase acts as a detox phase also. The CFGF, it actually acts as a detox phase. So when you are cutting off two major brain delaying components, that is coming from wheat and milk, GF, GF, gluten-free, CF is casein-free. So when you are removing gluten and casein from the diet, what's happening is you are avoiding the creation of gluteomorphine and caseomorphine. Two of these compounds are actually the reason why your child cannot focus, is hyperactive, is addicted to certain kind of food, have a lot of sensory issues, cannot sleep, cannot poop. You got the deal, okay? So that is stage 2. Probably you are in. Let me know in the comment which stage you are in, so that I can coach you for free to the next stage, which is going grain-free. Okay, so when we first started offering our services, it was really hard for me to make parents understand that it's possible to go grain-free. But now with time and with me aging up and getting understanding of how things work, now here's what we do. Before we go into grain-free stage, so my camera died on me, so that's why I am on the floor. I hope you guys don't mind. So as I was saying, The grain-free stage is when most parents get a little scared, like, oh my God, how am I going to go through the grain-free things? How is, because we are Southeast Asian, we are African, we are Caucasian, all of our food is just, carbs, like grains. How am I going to do things without grains? So the first thing that we do is the grain free. So if you have started the gluten-free stage, the gluten-free, casein-free, GFCF diet, your child has already started detoxing. Okay, so your child has already started detoxing, means the sensory issues are now lessening. Then probably your child is now more open to trying new food in a different variety of food and things like that. So if you were our student and if I were to start grain-free for you, then I would always add our detox phase before we shift you to the grain-free, because sometimes there are kids who are very severe, who are very much addicted to their food, who are like 2 or 3 food eater. Okay, so for those kind of kids, we would add the thorough detox first and then move to the grain-free. And this is the reason actually why you are struggling to make grain-free work. Start with the grain-free. Then what happens is your child has been on a strict diet, on a restricted diet, and now you are trying to change diet very fast. Then what happens is it's a shock to his system. It's a shock to his body. It's a shock to his mind. So that's why we have to do things slowly, okay? And to reduce that shock and to reduce the sensory issues through which your child is, understanding texture and reacting to textures and things like that, we would have started with the detox. So the third phase is our grain-free phase, when you are eating, or your child is not eating any sort of grain. He or she is mostly eating a full array of vegetables and fruits and legumes, beans, dals, lentils, and of course proteins, all forms of proteins, unless your child is intolerant to any protein. So sometimes things happen is you might not know that your child has certain intolerance to certain food. So when you remove major toxicities, those small changes can show big results. So sometimes parents see meltdowns more and they get scared. Okay, they get scared and then they stop. What's happening is your child is having a lot of meltdown maybe when you are changing the diet, because there is a die-off reaction from the overgrowth that has been massively not getting their food from wheat and from casein. So when you were removing all of the wheat, the casein, the starch, what's happening is your child's body, your child's gut, the bad microbiome, which is in the gut, it's not getting its food. Okay, so when it's not getting its food, it starts dying or starts getting angry and anxious and forces and makes the child cry, meltdown, breaking things. So that is why sometimes I say you need to actually work with a professional to avoid those meltdowns and dramas, and to stop you from getting scared from doing the work. Okay, all right. So in the grain-free stage, what we do is, like I said, we do a bunch of variety of foods, right? So there is no nutritional deficiencies. You have to ensure that your child does not have any nutritional deficiencies while you are following through with the grain-free diet, because if there is deficiencies, then you will see weakness happening. You will see, maybe dizziness, or your child is lethargic and things like that. Okay, so that's stage 3. And just a reminder, if you are working under a professional who knows their work, your child will do much better in the grain-free stage. Okay, so don't hesitate to reach out to the person that you like or you trust and things like that. Okay, all right. The stage 4 is when what we call inside our program as heal and seal. So that is the stage that most parents are very scared about. and likely and understandably so, because it's the strictest phase of the whole 5 stages. Okay, in this phase your child is gonna eat lots of soupy, stewy kind of food, lots of broth, lots of meats, and non-fibrous vegetables. Okay, non-fibrous vegetables. In some of the stages there won't be any fruits also, because some of the fruits have a lot of sugar, and then that will increase the bad bacteria moving on, right? What we want through this restrictive period, which is not long, it's 6 months to 8 months maximum. So those of you who are freaking out, it's not more than 8 months, okay? If your child gets well within that 8 months. So it's usually 6 months to 8 months when you have to be the most strictest. After that, stage 5 is the honeymoon phase or maintenance, when you just keep on the grain-free for a longer period of time until you feel like your child has achieved their best developmental potential, okay? So in the phase of stage 4, the restrictive period, which we call heal and seal, where what we are doing essentially is through food, through nutritional therapy, we are healing the gut, we are healing the leaky gut, we are healing any cracks and crevices, bad bacteria, we are healing the microbial balance, gut health, and all of those things. And we are sealing the gaps of the gut and also the gut-brain excess, okay? So if gut is open, cracked open like this, toxins can seep out from the gut, and through the blood-brain barrier, it can actually affect and go to the nerve. And most food which have not been digested well can end up becoming like neurotoxins, which is essentially poisons for the brain. That is, the brain cannot function because of all of those poisons, okay? All right, the fifth stage, after those 6 and 8 months of the restricted diet, you have healed the gut. Now your child can actually eat a more variety of food that is organic, that is healthy, that is less sugar, that is less carb, more fibrous, and a variety of grains, grain-free. Obviously it has to be grain-free until 2 years at least. Even in the maintenance phase, what's happening is you are no longer having to cook or feed soups and broths, because those sometimes get boring. Kids don't want to eat broths after a few months, and I totally understand. And if you are interested, let me know in the comment if you would like me to share and spill the secrets on all of our stages of all of our pillars inside the program, so that you can start working on your child from the comfort of your home without any stress. Just experiment and see which things work for your child and which things don't, because obviously everything don't work for every child, but the most important thing is for you and your healthcare professional to understand the specific need of your child's body, gut, brain, so that they can customize the pieces essential for your child's full recovery. And by recovery, I am not saying your child becomes neurotypical. What I'm saying is, even as a neurodiverse, he or she has full potential reached, as in like speaking properly, understanding things, command following, cognitive skills, going to school, having friends, just leading a normal life. That's it. That's what we all want. So the last stage is the honeymoon phase, which is the maintenance. In maintenance, you are doing all things, right? Like I said just now, when you are done 2 years following all of these things, after that you can come out of the diet and then experiment with more food that is a little problem. For example, gluten. Yes, sometimes you can give glutens after the 2 years period, but you have to be very vigilant and find out if your child is still reacting to it or not. So let me know in the comments if you liked this sort of video, this sort of me spilling the guts about our protocol and how things work, so that you actually know what is those things that you have to do for your child. Okay, I don't want to be gatekeeping. And by the way, I am thinking about having webinars where I'm gonna teach in more depth all of these things in more depth. So let me know in the comments if you would like the webinars and the links to register for the webinars, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Okay, have a nice day, guys.